Welcome to this week's video where I will be making my not first, not second, but third Belle ball gown. Now you might be wondering why the video footage is showing you a bunch of these different fabric swatches, and that is because I got catfished by the fabric selling website about the color of this fabric. I originally wanted a really pretty mellow yellow and it came looking like this. I don't even know what color it is, so I ended up having to emergency dye this stuff, and I'm going to tell you now that it just did not end up how I wanted it to be. This is either going to go extremely well or terribly bad. Let's hope for the latter. No, the former. Let's hope for the former. I have all my dye. After doing like 20 swatches, I'm just gonna put everything I have in and hope for the best, because every swatch I do turns out a different color. So we have a lot of golden yellow and a lot of lemon yellow, and we're just gonna put it all in because I don't want to waste my time figuring it all out. No matter what I do, every swatch is different, even if I use the same exact ratios and the same time. We're ready. I think I ruined the fabric. Your hand is yellow! Her hand is yellow. I took out a little swatch. Can you see it? Oh, this is good. I cut a swatch off of the fabric and it is green. Don't ask me how, but it has a green tint, just like my last Belle dress, which is not what I wanted. I wanted yellow. I wanted a golden yellow. Actually, no, originally I didn't want gold. I wanted yellow. I wanted a nice yellow color. I can't find any color right now. Maybe color of Elsa's hands. I wanted a good yellow color. It didn't come in. I tried dyeing it. My only option was to dye it gold because I wasn't able to dye it the color yellow I wanted. I'm gonna keep making this stupid Belle dress until I get the color that I want. We're gonna take it out. At least I wear gloves, so my hands aren't yellow. That's the good thing. I just washed my hands out. I think it's getting on your face! Wrong way! Next. Turn it off. Turn it off, Elsa. Don't! Don't, or else I'll literally obliterate you. I will obliterate you. No, we're almost done. Close your eyes, you gotta lift it up, Elsa. You got me wet. I'm sorry.
Alexander's gonna climb up on the ladder. Okay. Hopefully she can reach it.
I got you. What if it falls? It's a family affair.
There, just do that first break. There. You get the dripping yellow. So I'm gonna pull it my way while I move it this way, then you pull it back your
way. We've got our system. Oh, what is that? Eyesore. And now we wait for it to dry and hopefully it doesn't rain. I am going to make another Belle dress. My third, in fact. The clips you just watched were from Easter Sunday, so 3 weeks ago maybe. And as you can see, it did not turn out how I was hoping it to turn out. I thought that I could dye it to be that yellow, and apparently that's impossible to do. And it is 100% silk, so it is expensive fabric too. I've been holding off on this project because I was feeling really mad. And after kind of marinating on this fabric, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to make the dress anyway, and then I'll just end up doing a fourth Belle dress so that I can get the color that I actually want. And I will be selling this dress to make myself feel better about spending time doing it. We're gonna try to do this in 2 days. I'm gonna try to get the skirts done today, maybe a bit of the bodice, and then do everything else tomorrow. I did end up finding the perfect yellow after the fact of dyeing this badly, and I ordered a swatch from the Silk Baron, and it's exactly the color I wanted. It is over $20 a yard, so I'm not going to be ordering this quite yet, but I do know which fabric I want to use. So this is the perfect color yellow that I want to make a dress out of, just not now. today we'll be using this. Now, because this fabric was so expensive, before I ordered it, I made sure to figure out how many yards I needed so that I could perfectly fit it. So I have no wiggle room in this because I ordered just enough fabric to make the dress how I want it to be. I had the whole diagram laid out on my iPad. So I have 9 yards and I want the skirt, the fluffy part, to be 10 panels wide, and of course there's the underskirt too. I'm going to be using 4 yards for the underskirt part, and then since it's 60 inches wide, I will be folding it in half, so I'll have 8 yards to gather for the bottom skirt, and that will leave me with 5 extra yards to make the fluffy skirt with, and then I'll use the remnants for the bodice. I have the little triangle diagram drawn out to where I can fit the most amount of triangles onto the fabric, so they'll be triangle this way and then that way, and I think the bottom of it will be about 2 feet, and then the top of it 5 or 6 inches. I have it all drawn out here, and I'll maybe put a screenshot up because I'm assuming my ring light is glaringly showing. So I will put a little screenshot of my measurements and you can kind of see where I'm going. It might change a little, but it's the basic idea. I'm going to get started on the underskirt first because I have the materials I need for that, and then I'll go to the store today or tomorrow and get the things I need to do the overskirt. I am shamelessly in my pajamas because these are the most comfortable pants I've ever worn. So you know what? I have no shame in wearing them on camera. Go away. So we're gonna cut out the 4 yards that will double into 8. Also, I literally have been ironing this fabric the best I could the past 2 hours, and there's still wrinkles, but since it is silk, I had to be super delicate with it, so ignore the wrinkles. I get some comments sometimes of people saying I really need to steam my stuff, and you know what? I just sometimes don't have time for that.
I'm editing this right now, and is this not the same exact image?
Okay, to make the underskirt, I have this circle skirt made out of satin, and then I will gather this 8 yards of rectangle of the silk that I have, and then gather it and pin it to the edge of this and sew it down, and then we should have a very, very full skirt that will cover multiple layers of petticoats as well as the big hoop skirt. And then it's the base for the dress, and you can do the bodice and the iconic ruffled part. How am I supposed to work on my dress when there's a cat on my stuff? Don't do that, that's gross. Be a lady. No, be a lady for the camera. We're gonna have to move her. Oh, she's so sweet. It's pinned and it's ready to be cut. No, not cut, it's ready to be sewn. Well, it's been a few weeks and I did not, in fact, make this dress in 2 days. I had wishful hopes, but I got sidetracked on other projects, so I'm gonna try to finish this up soon. I did, however, finish the underskirt that you guys saw me. So I pinned it, sewed it together. Did I serge it yet? And I serged the insides. It doesn't have a waistband or anything, but you have it pretty much done. And boy is she big. So it's definitely gonna have full coverage on the skirt. This is basically done, I'll finish it later. Today, I'm gonna cut and maybe hopefully sew the top skirt. And like I said, that's gonna be triangular panels. Let me go get my measurements so I can tell you exactly what the panels are gonna look like. It looks like in my original planning out of things, I'm gonna do a 6-inch waist on each panel and 24 inches on the bottom. And I'm gonna do a total of 10 panels. I guess I ended up with a smidge of extra fabric because I was able to count out 11 panels with a 4-inch top and a 25-inch bottom. So that's good because I wanted a lot of panels. I just didn't have enough fabric. So now that I have the triangles pinned off, we'll just cut them. Hopefully end up with 11 as I counted. Okay, people, I have cut the inaugural panel. 10 more to go. Panels 2 and 3 are done. Now that I have 11 panels cut out, I'm gonna spend the next 7 to 10 business days sewing them all together. I'm actually really excited to sew this fabric. I've never sewn silk and it has a really nice, luxurious feel to it. It just feels good and it's really nice and flowy and thin, and I think the drape is gonna be Chef's Kiss. So I had trouble finding matching color thread. I have not matching color thread. There was nothing in between these that was good. I think I will probably use the more brownish one because it looks like it would blend in more than this bright lemon yellow. Now, to stop the fraying, we're going to serge all the seams together. And this step was catastrophic the last Belle dress I made because as I was sewing one of the seams of the panels, unfortunately I didn't realize there was another panel stuck underneath. I serged a giant hole in it, so I had to lose one panel, which really sucked. So I'm gonna be extra careful today, and we are going to keep all of the panels safe. Behind me, as you can see, is the paneled skirt, and today I'm going to finish the skirt, hopefully the bodice, because I really wanted to finish this dress soon. Now is the crucial step of the process that I did not do last time, and that is the way that we ruche/gather this skirt up. Very, very important. The last dress I made, you obviously have the triangular panels, and then you're supposed to gather them up to get that Belle skirt effect. I don't even know if the camera's seeing this. I didn't know how to do that when I made this over a year ago. So what I did was, on all of the seams, I would do a long gathering basting stitch, gather it up at the seam, and sew it down just like you would do on a waistband. In my mind, it was a good idea, and it technically is still a wearable dress, except if that thread breaks, because it's got a lot of pressure on it, then it will snap and the whole dress will fall down. So it's not very sturdy. That's why I had to be very careful handling the dress and putting it on. There has been a few times in the past year or so I've owned it that the thread has broken on a seam and the whole thing goes falling out. I have to regather it. What you're really supposed to do to keep it sturdy is use elastic. What I'm going to do for this, and what I think most people do when they make this dress, is cut elastic to the size that you want it to be gathered to, and then you'll, I think the word is ruche. I'm gonna like ruche it, so I'll pull it all the way down and kind of pull it taut, and then sew it, and then it should theoretically bunch it up, and it will be much more sturdy because the elastic's not gonna snap. I think what I want to do is the front, have it ruched a bit shorter, and then it will go kind of longer in the back. I'm gonna cut these out to the same length, and we're gonna hope that we have, how many do I need? 11? I think I might need 11 pieces. I don't think that's gonna happen. There's not enough. Okay guys, I'm actually gonna go to Joann's because I have gift cards for them. So we're gonna head there and see what we can find. Maybe we'll get lucky and also find like a cute applique or something, or some beads to put on the bodice. I just got back to my car. I probably bought more than I need. Let me show you. What I actually came for was the elastic. I got 2 things, 6 yards each. It's 3/8. 12 yards better be enough. And then I honestly got a million different rhinestone-y things for the bodice. So I have these rhinestones, these beads, and then I bought a bunch of gold trims. I'm going to head back and we can finally work on stuff now that I have what I need.
Okay, so in this clip you can kind of see what I meant with the elastic. So I have elastic cut to where I want the dress to hit, and then I'm stretching that elastic over the seam so that it bunches it up, if that makes sense. You can kind of see me stretching it right there, and it gives the ruched effect that I really needed for this dress.
Today's the day that we work on the bodice and hopefully finish it. And I've cut out some pattern pieces, and this time I transferred the pattern to paper from the muslin, and I hopefully am going to keep a hold on it so that I don't have to make a new pattern every time I sew. So let me show you what I've got. It's a pretty simple pattern, and I'm working on cutting out the fabric right now. I have it 4 pieces, and I'm choosing to go a bit lower in the back, and then of course there's going to be like the collar draped over here. And for the construction of this one, I have this golden yellow matte satin that I'll be using for a base that I'm cutting 2 layers out of, which I will sandwich the boning inside of. And then I have over here the outer silk fabric that matches the skirt over there. So I just need to cut out the silk layer, and then we can get started on sewing this. It's a new day, and I've finished the corset. It's pretty good. I'm just still not very happy with the color, but right now I am cutting out the sleeves, and I think I'm gonna do a kind of a similar shape to the Bertha I made for the Cinderella live action dress. It's going to kind of be like that kind of shape, kind of like an oval, but like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not gonna be a straight rectangle because I want there to be a lot of volume in the sleeves, but I don't want there to be a ton of volume where it meets in the middle. So this is the remaining fabric I have left. So I'm going to kind of cut curved like that, if that makes sense. I think I have the perfect amount of sleeve fabric to do it, and this dress will probably be done today or tomorrow, which is really, really exciting. I cannot wait to see how my third dress goes. No, it is a new day, and I know I've been saying this every single day, but today is actually the day that I will be finishing up this dress because it's just far overdue. So I'm adding the final details right now. I know I didn't really film a lot the making of this bodice, but it was just really simple. I mean, you sew the pattern pieces together, and then usually I do a separate bodice, but this time around, for Belle dresses, I like to add it to the top skirt. So I don't know if this is in the camera's view, but I sewed the skirt onto the bodice. And so now I am rhinestoning and adding a few final details. The rhinestones were kind of a last minute decision because this color, since it is a custom dyed color that I didn't really plan for, there's not a lot of things that match it, like trims and whatnot. So I'm working with what I have here to kind of spruce it up, if you will. So I've found a few trims that kind of match. They're not perfect. And then I'm just adding some rhinestones along the top, and I think that's how I'm gonna leave it. But I'm actually really happy with how this is turning out. I tried it on last night, or I tried the bodice on last night, and I really, really loved it. I think I mentioned I want to sell this one, but it made me second guess because I love this bodice way more than I love the one on the second dress I made. I also added the grommets last night. I need to add a zipper. Anyway, I'm going to finish up the rhinestoning really quick.
Looks really beautiful, just for the record.